Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Mancillon. Welcome to my channel. This is a wonderful day here. It's a beautiful place. I'm gonna just briefly share those beautiful mountains here. So magnificent. There is snow on the mountains up there, and so I just thought I'm going to discuss a few ideas about the overall some ideas about what's going on about the energetic level. I just and to celebrate today is for many people celebrate the birth of Christ on December 24th. But personally, I've always for a very long time I've celebrated the birth of Christ on August 21st. For it was actually the Akashic record recorded that he was born on December on August 21st of the year -7. And it is the first time I met him was in a church in Littleton, Colorado. It was a celebration for the 2000 birth anniversary of his coming into this world. It was on August 21st, 1993. It is the first time I met him. It was an amazing contact. Since then, I've been developing a very personal relationship to that spirit, to that master, to that ascended master, to the brother. And he's always there. He's never left. He wants to come back through the heart of being. For right now, so I just wanted to say, today's Christmas, so just be ready to receive gift from the universe. Keep your heart open. For the appearance are really deceiving. It is a divine plan that is unfolding, but from a surface reality, sometimes if you look at what is projected in the surface in this lower matrix, in this matrix reality of consciousness, you feel like we've been sent into a madhouse. It is a complete madhouse. We do not want to listen. At the end of time, we are at the end of time. For it is going to be the beginning of eternity. A new cycle for this golden age, this new renaissance is about to start, to begin. It has started, but it's about to manifest. It was prophesied that lies would become the truth, that truth would be known as lies, that black will be white, white will be black, that what is good will be known as evil, what is evil will be known as good. So all of it was, the Creator is allowing that to happen because in this matrix, people have to make their own choice. How do they position themselves in relationship to what they choose to live? Do they choose to live a higher timeline or a lower timeline? Do they choose to live in joy, freedom, abundance? Or do they choose to live in misery, in pain and suffering? So it is all about personal choice. We're going to get rid of the two extraterrestrial influences that are influencing this lower timeline. They're the one who created it, which is the Archons and the Draco-Reptilian, the Draconian, and those are feeding on energy. They do not know how to feed on light, so they're feeding on other people's energy. The day we remove all of people do not feed into this negative emotion, they will self-destruct. They will have to go. They want for the universe as planned for them as well. I just want to reassure them that eventually they will find a way out of their self-created exile, hell. But for now, we just want to be completely indifferent to that, to cultivate joy, to cultivate freedom, to project into the quantum field. And for we all lived many lives in the higher planes, many from billions, trillions of years. We've been living in higher planes, in heavens, but as a soul. But eventually, each soul needs, as we fragment and experience many things, as souls, we have this power to fragment, and to fragment themselves. So it's soul, because of growth purposes, choose to incarnate in lower matrix. Even if we had thousands of life in lower matrix, it's just a drop in the eternity of our soul. So it is about understanding that because it is where the highest growth comes from. Forget for when the God was before the creation of the universe, there was no separation from God. But the idea that we could be separated from God is just it's a nonsense. But it is being made real by our creator power. So it's an opportunity to reconnect. And not to associate with all those lower impulses. For we come from a sphere that's very light, very pure, very divine. And then the souls, even if they come with the best intention, when they come here, for instance, this planet, we'll talk about this planet, there are many others where the program can be running as well. And we have many incarnations on many planets. We have soul family on many dimensions and planets. But So the souls, at first, when the souls come in first into this matrix, it is like all new, the impure, the darkness, the power over, and it's like, so they're starting to play with evil, they're starting to play with the dark, evil, the impure, the dark, the heavy, and so as they play with that, they harvest, because we live in a magnetic universe, they receive the backslash of that, and they receive the experiencing the result of their creation, we call karma. And then slowly, but after a while, the soul, after thousands, hundreds of lives, they start to say, well, I just need to remove myself from playing into those dark games. But there is still a lot of karma that's been created, and so very slowly but surely the soul is learning to turn toward the gentle voice of the heart, the gentle voice of the soul, to choose love regardless of what the experience of the past subconscious energy that's been affecting us. Sometimes when we're affected by karma, we recreate new karma because we are affected by karma. God knows all those things, but there is a great deal of compassion that's been exerted from the higher plane, the angels, the archangels, the spirits, and the ascended master. So so have the presence of mind to turn towards the light. For originally, we were not supposed to lose the connection to spirit in those material world. The true 3D reality was full connection, to telepathic connection to the Father, Mother, God, and the One. But those higher beings that created the universe warns the matrix creator not to, or even us, we are the matrix creator, we are the divine creator of that matrix on some level, because and so we not to go below fourth dimension, but we sunk into third dimension. When we came down here, we were 12th dimensional beings. We were fully connected. We could feed ourselves from the tree of life, from the prana. We were completely living in sharing with nature. For nature is already ascended, is ascending even more, but it's already ascended. It's just man and all their stuff that is still stuck in the lower plane. But humans will be the last one to ascend. But nature is already in this higher frequency, so tune into the nature. They will feed you good energy rather than the social media and the medias and the screen. For we want to use that, but be careful not to get trapped into this lower frequency. For it's like so we were not supposed to, but very slowly but surely we descended in consciousness, and we turned towards the tree of knowledge, the good and evil, and then our mind became limited, and we had to turn into survival, material food just to survive. Our body shrank into this dense energy. But right now there is the sun is bringing in new fractal that is day after day is regenerating, elevating our consciousness. The idea is our body is a temple, and is the home of love and the house of light, and we want to make it as pure, as clear as a crystal, ultimately. So just follow your step by step, and do not be in a rush to get things done. Just take things one step at a time. And so so it's like so it's about finding also the limitation within our mind, to be able to become aware of those limitations in order to disengage with those limitations and turn to the soul and the spirit. For now, it is an amazing opportunity that is given to all souls here to choose love and to return to love. For we all come from paradise, and we all will return there. There is nothing that does not come from God. No soul is like come from somewhere else or someplace else. It's all come from the source, from the great creator. And so, but when we will return, for it has to be an intention to return to that source, to return. For human beings have forgotten who they are. They've forgotten where they come from and how rich the original nature, the level of consciousness, the level of freedom, the level of wealth and abundance in consciousness that God possesses is utterly beyond anything we can even fathom. But there's great treasures that God reserved for those who will ascend back to the source. So the best advice is to elevate your consciousness, forgive, follow your passion, what brings you joy, focus on that more, spend more time focusing on what brings you joy, what is creative, what is a shared experience of happiness, than to spend thinking about all the problem that is imposed upon the world. If we can distract ourselves long enough from the problem, the solution will find itself. It is just the ego that's trying. That's why the problem are being maintained, is because there is all those conflict and opposition of egos once we move into the collaborative state. But there is an inner work, trust in the divine perfection of the plan, For it is far more interesting to practice this vibration of joy and freedom and abundance and happiness and creativity and prosperity than to complain about the perceived limitation, because those perceived limitations are just there for us to break free from them. And so trust in the perfection and the unfoldment of the past. Follow your own way, and for something, whatever I'm saying, doesn't really matter. It's what your heart is telling you. For personally, I am anti-work movement. I'm for like family value. I'm not to believe that we have to be heartless being, to have no sexuality, no culture, no religion, no race. We're just a number. That's all numbers are equal within the computer matrix of the Draco-Reptilian. It's a complete nonsense. I'm anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-nuclear energy. I'm anti-electric vehicle as well. Why? For electric vehicles, I have two advantages, or one advantages, because the other one is just a half advantage. The only advantages to electric vehicle is that they're silent, so that's wonderful. For noise is a huge pollution. And to speak about Tesla, Elon Musk, sometimes it's like, we look at him, I look at him, it's like I see sometimes he's bringing something very enlightened into the consciousness, because he speaks a lot. And then the next day he's bringing people into this Draco-Reptilian slavery system. So it's like it's like a yo-yo, it goes back and forth. Well, I'm not against, I do believe that if we started creating electric vehicle in the first, I think it was in the 70s during the first oil crisis, we would have machines that are completely reliable right now, but they're not reliable. They have very limited range. They take a very long time to recharge. Some of them blow into flame, and it is an ecological catastrophe. Huh? The way that we create those batteries and the recycling is like so much more pollution, and so. Why not? And the same thing with those windmills. It's like it's complete disaster for the ecology, for the nature. It's like a complete nonsense. Why not create vehicle with those propellers? Like when there's a little wind, you make 100 meters, then you're waiting for the next big wind and you move on. It's a bit loufoque idea, but we're going to have to return to a common sense and the quality of life of the people first, and the balance, the harmony. We're here to bring the balance, but the balance in nature doesn't come from like imposing the will. It's like it's a slow growth and process, and so like God understand that. For as long as we accept the lower frequency, the lower offering, the lower energy, the lower timeline, the higher timeline, the higher energy, the higher technologies, everything has been kept on hold. When we decided we do not want that, something else will come to replace it. When the human feel a need for something, to feel a need, it will create something to fulfill that need. It's saying necessity is the mother of invention. That's Frank Zappa's name of the band's name. But so it's about tuning into your soul and spirit, your guides, and receiving energy. For there are millions of people that have brilliant ideas to bring a balance, to return to the quality of life, the balance of nature, and so all those will all come together. It's right now. It's just the end of this scenario, the end of the wars. For thousands of years, millions of years, we've been with the galactic wars. We've been participating in war, and right now it is the expulsion of all karma. So do not, if you're not affected directly on a physical plane, it's just mental thing that has been that the medias are selling us. Because if we didn't have media, we wouldn't be aware of what's going on the other side of the world. So it's like, as long as we do not project our own conflict and fear and doubts within the problem, for it's like this is really what's fueling the problem. But it needs everything needs to be cleansed, and right now there's a great deal of cleansing that is happening. So trust in the plan, follow your relax. Breathe, find your inner peace. For the agenda of peace is inner peace, and the peace on the planet is really the only thing that is wanted, and that will be the only outcome for the higher timeline. For people, some people will some people will continue to play in the lower energies for a while, but we want to find independence from that, from material, physical, mental, emotional, and to allow our energy to rise, so we can always. No matter where we coming from, we resolve the situation in a way that we allow our higher self, God will, to be the one, to be the energy that comes to when God is for the, like I said in my last video, we were in the seventh day of creation where God created the universe and took a stand to see how it will unfold. But now we're moving into this first day of creation where the Creator return into the planet. The fifth dimension is, from a metaphysical standpoint, is the return of God. For God, in a universal sense, for there are many aspects of God, culture, religion, but there is only one God that is love and that is source, that is creator, and yet all of those facets of the personality of the Creator are all very significant because they are guiding the whole of evolution and humanity. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I will come to discuss a little bit some things that are more spiritual, about divinity in my next video, not to make it too long. And so I'm going to finish with this song. It's a song called Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. So focus on grace, for grace will save us. As we let go of all the limitation of the past, we tuning in to this higher matrix of consciousness. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and thank you for your donations. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful Sunday, for it is Christmas from a spiritual standpoint. So keep your heart open to receive the gift of spirit. Thank you very much, Adonai.